Afternoon. Thanks for joining me on this first live within this group. We're going to be looking at some of the Roaring 20's collection from Trudy Howard. Hi Malcolm. So I've got quite a simple card. I've not seen any lives in this group before, I must confess. Oh, hang on a second, I've lost my video. Looks like I'm still live. What's going on? Oh, isn't technology fantastic? I'm trying to find myself so I can see what you're saying to me. Oh, there I am. Right, yes, so we're going to look at Trudy Howard's Roaring 20's collection. So I've got a very simple card that I'm going to share with you. I keep on changing my mind of how I'm going to do it. But I think I'll do it the way that the ink's going to dry quickest. Anyway, we'll press on. So what we're going to be using is, I'm not sure whether we're going to use this guy or not, but he's my favourite guy from the collection. Ain't This Grand? So I might use him. So we put him to one side for now. But we're going to be using the All Dolled Up lady. We're going to be using some deco corners, and we're also going to be using some of the deco extras, all from Sentimentally Yours. So I have a piece of super smooth watercolour card here. This is a Sentimentally Yours one, and I've cut a double deboss essential square out of it. So we've got those lovely double debossed lines in the corner, which are really quite super and quite elegant, I think. So we're going to do a little bit of masking. So I want to create a border. So I'm going to take some Scotch low tack tape, and so I can get it straight, I'm going to go along the edge. I'm going to go on the wonk because I do everything on the wonk, and to try and keep it straight, I'm going to take my ruler and try and line it up against where the Scotch is. I've had my heating on because I was cold, and then the sun came out so I couldn't see, and now the sun's gone in again, so I still can't see. Right, let's see, I think that's straightish. So we've got a border marked there. I know you can't see it, but you'll see it when we start stamping. Because I know what I'm like, I am going to put another line here to give myself a chance to actually keep it within the line, because I know what I'm like, and I'll get some on this bit though. I need to stay nice and clean. So let's start with our corners. There's lots and lots of corners in this set, and they are photopolymer stamps, they're not acrylic, which I absolutely love. So we'll go with the one, because I've got one that's dry, because I know what I'm going to use Fine Claire. I know what Fine Claire's like. We're going to go with this corner here, and going to stamp this, as I said, with Versafine Clear. Where's my Nocturne? I know it's here somewhere. No. Yes. Nocturne Versafine Clear. So this is a, I'm sure you know, it's like a hybrid really. So you can use it with lots of different inks, lots of different techniques. So we'll have to do this around the camera. So this might not end up straight, which is why I've got another one. So we'll pop one there. And we're going for a bit of a geometric design because this is quite a geometric corner. And we'll pop one here. And then, not worry about that there because that's actually on the low tack tape. So although it looks a mess, it's not a problem because we can lose that bit. And then we'll have another one going here. This is going to be one of my cleaner cards, hopefully. Not a lot of background work. And we need to just not have it end. So just think about your wrapping paper and things like that. It's going to go off the page. This one's going to go off the page there. And then we're going to have, which way are we going? I always ink up the wrong bit. I'm going to have this bit going off here. Okay. So it's quite a mess on my mat. As always, I forgot to put a piece of copy paper down. Let's get some light in here. That's better. Right, let's have a look. Let's just clean that up before I make too much of a mess. Not really making much impact on that. I'll sort that out in a minute. Right, okay, so now we're going to add some more detail from the Deco Extras stamp set. This could be, we could use any of the corners for this. Lots of choice. I do have one request, guys. Please don't call me Julie. That's not my name. My name's Julia. Thank you very much. It's the only thing that bugs me. You can call me whatever you like, but don't call me Julie. Right, we're going to use this little guy here, who isn't that little, is this guy here. These accents are fab. Look at that cat. Obviously he's not on there properly, but look at him. Isn't he wonderful? And the car, these are great for hiding if you've got any inky marks, and that one, any solid stamp. If you make a mess, put one of them over it and you won't see your inky marks anymore. Of course, if it fits in, it might not fit in. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a few of these. Where did I put them before? Oh yes, here. Right. Okay. Let's see how we get on. We're going to come up, obviously got to come off, otherwise they won't fit. And I think that's moved. Yeah, it did. That's the problem, it slides on the low tack tape, but it's all right, we'll be okay. Don't stress, it's meant to be fun. I like the reveal when you know when you mask areas off. I like the reveal that you get when you actually see what it's supposed to look like. Now I need to turn this around because I can't work upside down. Right. Hi Jane. Right, let's put this just here, nearly there. Obviously you can go in with lots and lots of different designs and really mix it up. You could put like ones in the like little gap there in the little canal there if you wanted to. You could really go to town. Oh, that one moved as well. You can feel it moving. got an inky mark there. Let's hope it's not going to interfere too much. Right, okay, so that's that. That's our border all stamped. It's back on the sheet. Honestly, I drive myself nuts. I lose so many things. I've lost a die today. I took it out of the packet. It was 2 dies stuck together. Took it out of a packet, separated them. And do you think I can find the packet and the other die? No, I can't. Don't know where it's gone. It drives me nuts. Must be here somewhere, unless it's in the bin. And I don't want to look through the bin. So here's your reveal of your lovely border. Look at that. Doesn't that look fab? Just in black and white, that looks fab, doesn't it? Very happy with that. Let's get rid of this mark. And I haven't actually put too many inky marks on it either. This is just a bit of blending solution, which gets rid of your more tough inks, so stays on, and archival and things like that. It's going to get rid of those too. Okie dokie. So there's my border. So I want a bit of colour in that, but I'm not going to colour it just yet, because I want to actually colour in my lady, so I know that I'm going to be colouring in the right way. This is the one that I've done before. See, they're almost identical. In fact, that one is actually better, but if I put ink on top of that, the colour's going to run. It's going to smudge. So that's the one I'm going to use. That's the one I'm not going to use. Right, let's go to our lady. All dolled up, and she really is. I'm going to use my stamping platform, just because she's a big lady. I think she's 16 centimetres tall. I think she's quite tall anyway. So if we measure her in inches, that's real money as far as I'm concerned. She is just over 6 inches, 6 1/8 inches tall. So she's quite tall, taller than I am anyway. Pop her on there. So you could probably get 2 out of here if you did them top and tailed them, but we get 1 out. And again, we're going for Nocturne because we're going to watercolour. I do tend to prefer the VersaFine Clairs to the regular VersaFines. I might be all right with the VersaFines now. I don't like that flappy lid that they had. I hated that flappy lid. These are better for me as well because I've got small hands, so I much prefer these. Not stamped her in a while, so I'm giving a really good inking and really good seam too. Yeah, so I think the internet's been a bit dodgy with all the rain, hasn't it? I couldn't get on Facebook earlier. I was a little bit worried I'd be able to come into you guys. So, like I said, I've not stamped her for a while, so she's a little bit dry. So I'm just going to add a little bit more so I can get this area here a little bit better. Obviously, that's the benefit of using your stamping platform. I'll press a little bit harder just there as well. They are 4mm photopolymer, so they are very good quality. There we go. There she is. She's gorgeous. Find a bit of scrap paper. Right, that's her. Oh, everything's crashing down around me. Something's just fallen in the bin. That might be where my die went. Who knows? Who knows? Right, so to colour in, we're going to use the set 3 of the Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens. It's quite a mouthful, but they are very good pens. I know quite a few people use these now. So the colour scheme I'm going for is like a tealy colour. So I'm going to use these 3 here, which are quite close to each other. But remember, with your pens, they're never quite as they seem to be on the nib. So this one is more of a greeny colour, which is fine. Then the middle one is that one. And then this is the last one. So actually, gradient wise, they are actually in that way, aren't they? That's how they look. That last one this one is actually greener than that one. Although when it went on, it looked greener to me. Right, so we're going to have her dress so that it graduates down. So we need to keep those in that order. Is that going to happen? Probably not. So, which one was last? I've just swapped them round. That one was last. So that's the greener one. So we're going to go with the greener one nearer the top then, in that case. And this is very basic watercolouring, because that's all I can manage. So we're going to graduate down from this lighter green. This bit here caught me out when I first came across this stamp, because I just thought it was the back of a dress, but it is actually her back. So Trudy tells me, but it can be whatever you want it to be, really. And then we're going to go for the next colour, which was, I'm getting out of order already. That was the lighter one, that one. It is this order. So I can't talk and think. So we're going to blend this out with a bit of water in a minute. And then this is the last one, I think. Unless it's the first one again. It could very well be the first one again, knowing me. And then grabbing one of the water brushes and get it going. And then just blend that out. Now, I'll tend to probably do 2 or 3 coats like this, depending on how dark I want it to be. Really, like I say, really basic colouring in. And it's fine if they merge, which is what we want. We don't want a separation of colour on this. We just want it to look like a dress is, you know, really blended and shimmery, maybe. You can, of course, go onto the blending mat as well and add more colour that way. That's not too bad from a first attempt in a live situation. Quite happy with that, actually. Blend that out a little bit. And on the watercolour cards, you can kind of mess around as much as you want to. Let's see, middle one. Let's have the middle one. So she's got gloves on here. I think that's part of her arm there. And this bit here could be, you know, don't be frightened to leaving white in it when you're doing these sorts of things. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And again, we'll blend that out. Okay, so you keep on going like that. And incidentally, in set 3, you've got you have got a skin tone which I quite like, which is this one here. So I mean that comes out like that, but if you kind of pick it up, I should be on my blending mat really, so you can see. You can easily do a skin, and it's quite a pale skin, so you can build that up. I think it's best off going from the mat onto the image rather than just going straight on and then blending it out. Personally, that's what I think, but obviously you find your own way. So you carry on, and she's all coloured in. You can see she's a little bit darker because I've done a couple of coats with the same kind of technique. Constantly get those 3 mixed up. Right, that's going in there. So she's cut out. I cut them out always. I tend to cut them out first before I colour them in, if I'm 100% honest. So let's just think about our borders. This is the one that's dry. So I really want that to tone in with that. So use the similar colours. So we're going to go back to our tape and replace, you won't be able to see, will I? Place the tape just over the edge of there. another one just here. I mean, you can, of course, if you wanted to, probably the best thing to do would be to, which is why I was dithering earlier on, that's not straight, would be to ink first and then stamp on top. But we haven't got any chance of that being dried unless I put the heat tool on it. So, you know, and then you could just leave this in place and then stamp on top of your inking. So we're going to use, I think, we're going to use tumbled glass and cracked pistachio, because I think those are going to blend, where's she gone, with her dress nicely. She's here. So I think those are going to blend nicely, hopefully. So let's go for the tumbled glass is the lightest, so let's go for a little bit of that one first. Of course, going on with the oxides and going on top means, because it's a pigment ink and it's a little bit opaque, it does mean that we lose a little bit of the vibrancy of the VersaFine Clair, which is why it's a good idea to stamp second, or what you could do is stamp and emboss. So there's different ways around it, isn't there? Whatever you want to do. So we're going to come in with a little bit of the cracked pistachio. This is a new sponge, so it might not give me exactly what I want. I think we'll just leave it at that, actually. I might put my light on so I can see now it's gone darker again. Oh, that's better. Oh, it's a little bit patchy. Now I can see. Blend that in a bit. They will blend in nicely with each other. Okay. And what I thought I'd also do, because obviously I haven't done this particular card before, is add a little bit of pen on top. So what did I do with my pens? Here they are. So we go direct from the pen with one of the three colours I've used to give a little bit of accent. And let's see how that looks if we blend it out with a little bit of water. Obviously it's going to mix with the oxide as well, but it's going to give us a little bit of a highlight. Yeah, that works for me. At the moment my tape is in place, but it's not necessary to leave it in place, but at the moment it is. You can of course just blast your VersaFine Clair dry if you want to. Right, let's turn that around so I can do the other three. Always turn your work around so you can actually, you know, access it properly. It's actually moving quite nicely on top of the oxide. Which isn't surprising, 2 water-based products. Quite relaxing. And this one. Okay. And there is a little bit of a, which one's that? That's that. Which one's the greener one? That's the greener one. And we just go direct here, I think, just with this one. Add a little bit of a green highlight. There's loads of scope within the Roaring 20's collection to you know, do lots of different variations of exactly the same thing here. I think that's it. That'll do. That's good for me. I'm going to peel that away. And there's our border. So if we took, as a comparison, we bring in the one that I just stamped. So that's what it looks like uncoloured, that's what it looks like coloured. So I think that's a win-win for me anyway. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. So if we bring in our lady, she's going to stand here. But what I am wondering is whether to bring in one of my guys and have one of my guys standing with her. I think the two of them together look absolutely fantastic. So we'll need to colour, let's just colour him in quickly so that he can go on this card. So let's do the skin first, and I will bring in my mat this time so we get the skin done. Obviously I haven't got him coloured up, so we've got to colour him in completely. Hope that's all right with you guys. So just take his skin, colour his face and his neck. I'm not an expert at this, so I just go with what works for me, and if it'll do, it'll do. There's a little bit light there, so let's have a bit more of that pen. Can't have one hand looking lighter than the other, can you? Let's have a little bit darker under his... No, okay. That's that. So for his trousers, I think we'll put him in grey. I know there's no grey on the card, but we'll put him in grey. So again, just as before, I'm just going to go down the lines that there are. Colour in his pocket. Oops, didn't mean to do that. If you go somewhere that you don't want to go, and if you probably know this already. What am I doing? That's that pen. You can take a water brush, clean water brush, and just go where you've got the pen and blot it. Depending on the colour, you'll need to do it once or twice, but if you do that, then you get rid of any watercolour products you can do that with. So all's not lost. I mean, there are some hard colours which are hard to move, like red is a difficult one to move, and dark blue can be as well. But obviously this is quite a light colour, so this is quite easy to move. Shoes. Okay, so then we just pull this out now. Oh, take the lid off. Oh, let's have a bit under there actually, it's a bit of shade under there. Okay, that's moved around now. So it is very easy to do it, and the you know, the intensity of colour, you just go in again, leave it to dry. Once it's dry, you do exactly the same thing again. But it's kind of a very crude way to colour in, but it kind of works for me. Then let's have his waistcoat. We tone his waistcoat in with her actually, and take one of the blues, and just again, it's quite a girly colour for him actually, isn't it? But don't tell him I said that. But it's going to tone him with the card. Normally I would wait for, I wouldn't go on in the area next to where I've used the water brush, because you can actually get the colours moving into one another, which we don't want to do. So let's see how we get on here. And we'll, he's quite a coordinated chappy, so we'll make his cuffs match his waistcoat and his little thingy here, and his tie's gonna match as well. Oh, and the band. Oh God, do his hat. We do the band on his hat to match. it helps as well when you all use the same colour. Just move that around, and we can highlight the lines by going in a second time if we want to. But I do quite like it when there's a little bit of white left. It's not perfect. Pull that one out. And these cuffs. Do be careful if you're going in an adjacent area with a strong colour. So if I was going in with red next to where I've done my skin, it could actually go into his skin if his skin's still wet. Okay, so that's looking all right, I think. We need his shoes and his hat. So this is like a very dark grey. His hat. I'm hoping it doesn't go into that light blue. Do it all direct, in fact, so I don't have to go right up next to it. Okay, so he's all done. That didn't take long, did it? There's my lid. It is. Oh, I've lost a colour. Goes there. Right. We're almost there, actually. It's really quick. So I've got a card blank. I do need to do a sentiment. So I've got the, this is Elegant Ebony, so it's black card here, and I've cut the double debossed eyelet square out. I nearly called it a rectangle, getting my squares and rectangles mixed up. And that's the next size one. So whenever you buy Phil's dies, the double D is exactly the same size as the eyelet. So if you want to do your nesting, you can just cut it in the next size up. So let's glue this in place. So this is roughly an 8x8 card, I think it is. Or, yeah, about that. Let's stick that so I can use it. That's going to slot in. I can get that straight around the camera. Sorry if I've knocked the camera again. Okay. And then, so he's going to go there. I think I might put him on flat, actually. She's going to go there. I have got a sentiment panel here. And I wasn't going to put that there. In fact, I think I'm going to. So I can glue these in place. They look good together, don't they? Very handsome couple. I do like this guy. He's my favourite guy. I'm not sure if he's a gangster. I don't think he is. I think he's just a nice chap. So obviously absolutely besotted with this young lady who's probably a little bit out of his league. Or maybe she thinks she is. She probably isn't. Let's see. So he's going to go there. And she's on foam, just so we can get a little bit of dimension. Stand her right next to him. Do you think they're a couple, or do you think he's just wanting to go out with her, or maybe he's his minder? He might be her minder. So let's stop a sentiment, and we've got let's have Ain't This Grand, because he definitely thinks that this is, you know, a grand thing to be doing, having that beautiful lady on his arm. I reckon. Grab a block. And where's my Nocturne gone? There it is. As I'm not using a stamp press, I'm just going to double check that this is stamping fine, which it probably is. Oh, where's my bit of paper gone? It is in here. Because I've not used them for a while, I just want to make sure they're nice and juicy. Yeah, that's perfect. So it probably means I'm not going to stamp it so well the second time. Does that happen to you? You practice and then the second stamping isn't as good as the first. Let's see if I can get that straight in the middle, give it a chance to sink in. Yeah, ain't this grand? It sure is, it sure is. And I didn't edge that with a colour, so maybe I won't edge this with a colour either. Keep it constant. I meant to, but I forgot. So I've cut the same size double deboss rectangle out of the black card, and you can see that as they're the same size, they fit together beautifully, but you can see that nice black underneath. I'm going to do my best not to smudge that, so I'm going to put the glue actually on the double D instead. Because I can, because I know they're the same size. Give that a press, and we'll put that on our card. Let's do it right up to the edge. Yeah, I stand a chance of getting it straight. And there we go. All finished. That's quite speedy, wasn't it? I hope that was okay for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if it's the sort of thing you're looking for. So thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thanks.